Gosh. I really hope these beers didn't get skunky because
You didn't put them
I
in the
left them
fridge.
in that cooler.
Oh,
They taste skunky. Hopefully not though. I'd put them in the freezer like today or like yesterday. I put them in there, but I wonder if they went bad. They stayed out too long. Oh, give me a second, folks. Give me a second. Welcome back to another off-season fun with your host, the Hammer and Skinny. I am the Hammer, and that is
I'm skinny domestic. We have
um,
another good
yeah,
episode. Post
exciting episode.
exciting episode. Post draft
Yeah.
episode. I hope everybody enjoyed our watch party that joined. We had
God,
quite a
that
bit
beer.
of viewers. You got skunk beer, terrible. Had quite a bit of viewers. Had engagements.
Hmm.
I
Crazy
enjoyed.
moments.
Yeah. Saw some of the crazy draft picks that happened. I don't know how much you followed the draft the rest of the week, but I pretty much had it on every day and followed it, so I was paying attention.
Oh, the rest of the week I wanted nothing to do with football, Skinny. I was like, so like after that draft, I was so fucking drunk towards the end of it. I was like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to take a break. So I took a break. I did follow some things and like the notable players. Like obviously like I wanted to know where Cooper DeJean went, and I wanted to know what the Vikings got. And then I looked into some of it, but I wasn't like scouring over it.
Yeah, I had it on TV, and then when I was at birthday parties, I had it on my phone, and it was up on TV, and I was watching it pretty heavily. Um, yeah, how many beers do you end up drinking in like the 3.5 hours?
12,
Dude, I love
12, and that I was fucked. I was
dude.
fucked up.
So
I don't know how you weren't.
my dad. So first off, I drank a whole 24 pack. I don't know how. I don't feel like I drank that much, but I did. I counted all the cans that were sitting here when we were done, and I was not as drunk as I thought I should have been, probably. But you wanted me to be drunk for the. You said I needed to be, and I did. I drank heavy, so I was feeling it. But my
Yeah.
dad, when I talked to him, he was like, he was like, Marcus needs to talk more. I was like, Dad, Marcus was drunk at that at that point because he didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Thank God for Jordan. Thank
yeah,
God for Jordan because Skinny, if he wasn't on there at that point, I was so drunk I was like mute. I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, I need this to be over because I'm too drunk and I can't say anything because it's gonna be like, oh, that guy, I don't know who he is, but he's really good.
yeah. Jordan being
So
able to talk definitely helped because yeah, you were
I was mute. I was like
yeah
donezo.
you were
Like once I
done.
left and went and got something to eat, like I was like donezo. And
I
then I
even
was trying to sneak some freaking
yeah you well first off you
Gatorade.
snuck away. You weren't even like, hey, I'll be right back. Like when I had to use the restroom, be like, hey, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be right back. You snuck off. I asked where did Marcus go, and then you come back all of a sudden and trying to like
I had some
you're
rolls
trying
in
to
my
like
hand.
sneak your Gatorade drink.
I was like,
He's
sitting like
like,
here.
dude,
Hey,
you were
here's
done
the
so.
thing. I love drinking. I will get drunk, but I am so in tune with like, okay, here's my limitations. Here's what I'll do. Like, you know how some people they will just go till they black out.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna black out because I know when I need to stop. And I know like I kind of figure out that threshold of like if I drink to here, I won't throw up. But if I drink to here, I will throw up. So I was sitting there and I was like, I drank a lot, the boys were buzzing, we were talking, then I was like, oh God, I gotta send her back a little
I
bit.
think
So
the biggest props to that whole watch party was Little Austin killing a 12 pack of Dr Pepper.
oh, most impressive thing. You killing a 24 pack, I will say I'll give you your credits. That's impressive. And the fact that you were able to communicate so elegantly with 24 beers in your system, that's crazy. Little Austin drinking the freaking thing,
All right, did
drinking
I say
like a
24
12 pack,
pack or yeah 12 pack? Yeah, 12 pack. I said 12
12
pack.
pack of Dr. Pepper, dude. That's crazy. And he went home sick from school because obviously we played Madden on Friday. But You know, I'm sick because he's like, my stomach hurts so bad. And I
Yeah,
was like,
dude.
yeah, you wonder why.
Dude, his probably blood sugar was like skyrocketing, and just like
Yeah.
the Dr Pepper was eating the insides. On the bright side though is he was able to taste 12 of the 23 flavors of Dr Pepper. You know when he.
Yeah, oh, sure. Sure.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I
It was a fun draft, though.
it was
If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
yeah
I mean,
it's available to
it's
watch
us
if you
just
wanted.
being like, yeah, it's just us reacting to like, oh my gosh, like obviously we'll talk about it later. The Michael Penix pick was fucking crazy. Them doing it. The Vikings getting JJ McCarthy,
Dude,
heartbreaking. But also
the
happy.
memes that have come from that are so funny. It's like the one I
The
sent you.
Michael
It's
Penix
like
or JJ?
the Michael Penix. The now that the Falcons drafted Michael Penix, we've heard that there's some teams that need a quarterback. They should definitely trade they should trade Kirk to the
Trade the
Vikings.
Vikings. Yeah,
Here's a edited photo of what Kirk would look like in a Vikings jersey.
yeah,
Just
that was funny.
or now with the 43rd pick, the Falcons will select Spencer Rattler to back up Michael Penix for when his times come. Oh man, the memes out of that were just hilarious. And then the video of the GM explaining to the owner why they did that pick.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that was funny. I like seeing. I saw a meme, JJ McCarthy meme that said JJ McCarthy top 10 moments in college, and they're all him handing off to Blake Corum.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
So
I love that. Yeah,
yeah, it's funny.
it's gonna be a good season. Some of these picks definitely change how I feel. We're with whole dynasty leagues now. I feel
Yeah,
terrible for some of these people that did the draft pre-draft. Now that it's
yeah,
post-draft, we'll start getting into that here in the next couple weeks because that's where people are going to start officially doing their dynasty drafts for your supplements and all that, and
hmm
um, but your rookie drafts. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. Well, definitely, I think every year we'll probably do it now. Um,
yeah.
might change
No
it.
more fucking. No, I cannot do. What was it that kills the shotguns every 8 picks? Oh my god,
Okay,
dude! Having five
shotgun
shotguns.
every like 9 picks. We'll figure something out.
And then what else were we doing? We were drinking every single time. They didn't boo Goodell very much.
No, I was shocked by that. That one was kind of depressing. So, yeah,
They censor it. They're censoring it on there like it's all fake news. Like
yeah,
Goodell,
we'll have to think of
Goodell
a better.
wasn't.
We'll have to think of maybe like more of a drinking game instead of like shotgunning every 8 picks.
Oh
We'll do
god.
instead of finishing your drink, you have to shotgun for your favorite team's picks, or we'll figure it out. We'll make it more of a thing. And the other problem too is trying to hear all that. Like I had my volume turned down because I'm trying to hear everybody else in the watch party, and it's so hard to pick up some of the people in our
Focus on both.
yeah, some of the people in our chat had to be like, hey, they did this, so drink and all that. But yeah, and then lastly, Tyler Fessler was, I guess you said he drank with us. He was
Yeah,
off
he
camera
drank 11
and
beers.
ended up
Yeah,
throwing up. So I mean, hey, we did something right. We
we
had
did.
people
He
engaged.
had a blast. And you know what's crazy? He got up at 5 in the morning and went to work.
Yeah, nope, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Yeah, he did. So
All right.
shout out to Tyler Fessler.
So
Thanks for the
let's
view.
get this officially started, Marcus. What do you have for news?
Rashad Bateman got it said an extension, but I want to say it was a 5th-year option, but it was through 2026, so maybe it was.
Yeah, I saw that. I have no idea if it's through 2026. That's another 2 years. So, well,
Yeah, so
maybe it is an extension. I don't.
yeah,
Let me go
I
look at how
saw
much
that.
it
I
is.
wasn't 100%. Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure. It feels like it'd be a 5th-year option type thing. I didn't get everyone's 5th-year option because there's so fucking many right now, but and a lot declined.
You can
But I
keep
got
going. I'm looking here.
okay. Mekhi Becton signs with the Eagles 1 year, $5.5 million deal. Why do you guys get people like this? Like, I hate that. I like Mekhi Becton, and I feel like he's such a steal. He's been injured and didn't really prove to the Jets what he could be, but like, the Eagles are not the Jets. The Eagles are a way better ran franchise.
Stoutland, you our offensive line coach, probably the best offensive line coach in the league, if not one of the best.
I mean, if you guys had if you guys didn't have Nick Sirianni and had like I don't know, Doug Peterson or literally any other fucking coach, you guys would probably be the best team in the
I
whole
think
NFL. But
I
since you
think
don't,
I think Nick
fuck you
Sirianni
guys.
isn't going to have as big of a role as he did last year in terms of things. I think we have Mond at our offensive coordinator, which I think is great. But I like the Becton signing for two reasons. Well, I
Not
guess
Mond, more,
or more.
more.
Sorry, yeah, more. Sorry. The Becton signing for I guess more than two reasons. I guess there's a couple. One, Lane Johnson's getting older. He usually maybe misses a game or two. This prevents him from like in certain games having to suffer through injury in playing, even though he has
Yep.
been. He can. We have a actual reliable backup tackle to
Yeah.
play.
First round pick too.
Yeah, yeah. Second, yeah, he was a first round pick. He's got the first round pick talent. I believe with the proper want, Lane Johnson, Stoutland, Malata, like all those other guys, learning from them, this is going to be big because if he has a decent preseason, works hard, if he does play some snaps, all that, it's a 1 year deal. If Lane's like 33, like Lane's a little bit, Lane's up there in age.
He could retire at any year
Yeah,
now.
this could be something where we get him on
And
cheap
and
longer term deal.
Becton is 25,
Not very old.
24, might be 24. He is young coming in the league.
Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah, so
Just turned 25. Yeah. So
that's young for an NFL player.
I do
so.
like that. And then the Rashad Bateman extension here is a 2-year extension.
Oh, so it wasn't a fifth year option. They actually went and extended him. I was kind of shocked about that because he's not been good.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just they must have had to get him for cheap. I'm trying to see if there's anything on the.
And he has been injured a lot, so last couple of years, but he's a first round pick. He hasn't been in the league for 4 years, has he?
No.
So maybe
Well,
his contract.
Yeah, his contract was set to expire. Is worth $15 million.
So it's not a lot.
Yeah,
It's
they're
not that
getting
much
him
money.
for
And
they're getting him for half of what they paid OBJ last year.
maybe they think that they saw something that maybe
I mean,
they're getting him for a good deal.
He was
He
hurt.
still is talented.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was pretty decent when he wasn't injured his rookie year,
Yeah.
but then he did kind of fall off last year with the uprising of Flowers. So we'll see.
Yeah. Zeke signs with the Cowboys for, I believe it's a 1 year deal. I don't hate it. Honestly, the Cowboys, since Zeke's left, the run game's been bad. Zeke is not what he was, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years. I'd say at least 3, maybe 4.
But he still is. He showed a lot with the Patriots. I mean, I rolled with Zeke in my league, and you rolled with him in our league, and he was decent.
He was a better pass catcher than he usually is. He was doing great things coming out of the backfield. So in the receiving aspect. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
What's funny is he's getting paid more money from the Cowboys this year from his former contract than his new current contract still. He's getting paid like almost $10 million from him, and like 3 of that or so is from his new contract. The rest is from his previous contract.
Well, what are you gonna do? Zeke's still, I would say he's not above average, but he's around that average mark for running backs. He's someone that like, if the Vikings didn't have Aaron Jones and we got Zeke, I'd be like, okay,
He's to the
passable.
point where he can't do 90-10. If you can give him a 70-30 or even a 60-40, I think that's a good spot.
60-40 Zeke, perfect.
Yeah.
That's what he. Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce got a 2 year extension. I didn't see how much it was worth, but that at least means that he's going to stick around for a couple more years. So
Highest paid the year that it comes, like the yearly it comes out to be is like 17.1 125 or something like that.
And he's the highest paid tight end.
Yeah, so it's just over $17.1 million a year
Hmm.
with that extension. Rightly deserved, and it potentially is gonna be his last contract. I would assume. I mean, unless he
Yeah,
thinks
he's
he's
getting old.
yeah, unless
He's
he
been in the league since 2013, I want to say.
yeah, and with his injuries, like I listened to the New Heights podcast, so he always like they always talk about being them older, their injuries they take longer to recover. Like they, this year with his knee and all that stuff and his ankles before, like his body is definitely feeling it. And
He didn't look good.
no, I
He
think
didn't look good this year.
yeah, he's still a guy that could put up 1,000 yards receiving, but I think it's not even the that aspect of the talent. It's the wear and tear on his body, and
Yep.
does he want to keep going through with it? So I think this very well could be his very last contract, and he retires out on top at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Christian Barmore, a 4-year, $92 million extension with the Pats. That's their defensive
Tackle,
lineman
yeah,
tackle. Yeah. I don't know really a lot about this player. The Patriots always have sneaky guys that like they get on contracts and do that, but this is a new regime. This is a new Patriots team. So Gerard, who their coach is Gerard Mayo, right?
yeah,
Which that'll be interesting to see what he does with it. This Patriots team has a different feel to me right now, though. I feel like
yeah,
they're going to spend a little more money than
yeah. They're
Bill
definitely going
would.
to spend a little bit more money. That they can. I mean, they have always had that ability to. You have a rookie quarterback
Yeah.
now, so you have money to spend everywhere else.
Yeah.
I still think they need to upgrade that wide receiver area. I mean,
Yeah. Targets. Like, here's the thing. I would have loved if they could have, and they couldn't have, they didn't have it, but maybe they trade back in the draft. I didn't want the Vikings to get Drake May, but maybe someone would, like the Raiders would have done that. And or someone that had a couple picks, maybe they could have gotten a couple, maybe the Vikings. Let's just say the Vikings theoretically. Maybe they could have taken Brock Bowers and, you know, I don't know, JJ McCarthy or whatever the hell they could have taken
yeah,
with that. They couldn't have taken both, but just a weapon for him because like their best receiver now is who? I don't even know who's on that team. Kendrick
uh,
Bourne.
no,
They have that one guy that
yeah,
Oh yeah, he left.
yeah.
Where'd he go to?
He's an Eagle.
But they signed someone. It wasn't someone
Oh
crazy
wait, no,
impressive.
Bourne's still on the Patriots. Who
Okay, yeah,
became
they have Kendrick
who
Bourne.
became an Eagle?
They have that Harry Douglas, who was their
Oh, not Harry, Demario Douglas.
Demario Douglas, who was like their good slot
Yeah,
receiver last
yeah.
year.
Let's go look at their roster here.
Um,
Javon Baker, Kawan Baker, Kendrick Bourne, Keyshawn Butte, which he's supposed to be good. TJ. Oh, they also have KJ Osborne.
oh, that's who they got. KJ
So
Osborne
they have
from
a
like
bunch
who's
of
their
wide
number one?
receivers. They drafted Jalen
A bunch
Polk.
of wide receiver threes is what
Yeah,
they have.
Jalen Rieger, Juju Smith, and then Tyquan Thornton, who is going to be their third year player. Like they have a lot of guys. Like some of these younger guys are supposed to have a bunch of talent and be good. I mean, it could be different with actually having Drake May throwing them the ball compared to Mac Jones. The other one
I
too is
don't
their
think so.
offensive line. You got to give them time to throw the ball, so we'll see. But yeah,
Drake.
yeah, Pats are in for. They had their dynasty. They can deal with bad years of football for the next
Oh,
like
fuck them.
50.
They should have to too. Um, I don't. I didn't. I'm just gonna say it now. We'll see about Drake May. I have my doubts though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Um, and then Vikings use their 5th-year option on Christian Darrisaw. Obviously, I love that. I think that he's a
Smart.
very underrated left tackle in the league. That's the thing. The Vikings offensive line, the interior of the offensive line is Right now it kind of sucks. I wish that we'd get what's his face, Dalton Reisner, that we had last year that really helped our offensive line, and what's his face, who we spent a first round pick on. Can't think of our center's name right now. I don't know why, but um, we had a first round, like the 23rd pick, a couple years ago when Mike Zimmer was there. Garrett Bradbury, and he's average. We gave him a little bit of a contract, and then after that, we don't. We have like a guy that started last year. That's okay, but he's him and Brian O'Neill have been the rock solid tackles and played a lot of games, and they're really good. So if we can continue that, I like that. I was a little bit disappointed in the draft that we didn't address the interior offensive line as much as I wish we would have. So,
Hey, but you got your
um,
quarterback.
I guess we'll see. The Browns picked up fifth year option on Greg Newsome. That's good. I like Greg Newsome. He's a pretty good corner. If he hit the market next year, he'd probably get top dollar money. I'd imagine he'd be the number one target at corner because he's kind of good. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this gives him another year. Basically, the 5th-year option gives you another year to pay him cheap and then work out a contract for future
and maybe they're
things.
strapped for cash. Maybe next year,
Yeah.
money's more. The year after that, I don't know how long the Deshaun Watson contract was, but I'm sure it's. I can't imagine it being that much longer. I
We're
can't
going into
imagine
his
it being
yeah,
more
we're
than
going
four
into his
years.
3rd year, so
Yeah. So, um, uh, Jags declined Mac Jones' fifth year option. No surprise there. Why would you pay him first round money once you could, if you like him as your backup quarterback, you can pay him that. And then Broncos declined Zach Wilson's first year option, so or fifth year option. So same thing. Fuck, Zach Wilson might be better than Bo Nix. Who knows?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Is that all you have?
That's all I have. I know there's a lot more fifth year options and
Yeah.
some like
The
little
only
things
fifth
in there.
the 5th-year option that I had was Arizona Cardinals declined 5th-year option for Zayvon Collins, which I thought was kind of interesting, but whatever. Um, this happened literally like 30 minutes after we filmed last week. T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson request trades. I know we talked
Oh
about
yeah,
it. I know we talked about it on the
pod or on
pod,
the
on the watch,
draft.
on the watch
Yeah.
party. Um, but they requested trades. This is the second time T. Higgins has requested a trade. We'll see if that gets um, if anything happens out of that. Jets trade defensive end John Franklin Myers to the Broncos for a 2026 sixth round pick. So the Jets and Broncos just love doing
John
trades.
Franklin Myers was a first round pick, wasn't he? I mean, his cap hit is kind of heavy. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like 10 mil cap hit. So I don't hate that, but I'm pretty sure he was like a second or first round pick or decently. Maybe I'm wrong, but
No, he was a 4th round pick to the
oh,
Rams.
okay. But he was pretty productive for them. They gave him some money, so
Yeah, he signed a 4-year contract extension back in 2021 for $55 million.
how yeah, which is decent money.
Yeah. Um, Wide receiver Quintez Cephas was reinstated for the gambling policy. You know, he's suspended for the gambling policy like all those other Lions players. He signs with the Bills currently, which, I mean, they need receivers, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
The Giant Slayer Boston Scott signs a 1-year deal to the Rams. So sad to see him go. The dude, it was so weird. Like, every game he scored a touchdown against the Giants. It didn't make sense. I don't think he scored any of this last year because I don't think he even played barely. But like every time we played the Giants, he was always torching them with like touchdowns and shit. It was just
He wouldn't have played this year in the new Giants Slayers Quadzilla, so you guys made it out all right.
yeah. Devin Funchess, you remember him?
Yeah, he's the one that there's a video that surfaced. Do you remember Akeem Hicks?
Mm-hmm.
He used to play for the Bears. Of him like getting pushed over and then he shoves the guy and
Yeah,
he pushes Devin Funchess and he's
yeah.
like
He's the first NFL player to land a pro basketball contract. He signed with the Caribbean Storm of the Basketball League of Colombia.
what?
Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
Isn't that crazy to think though? Like, out of all of the years of football.
Okay, here's the thing though. There are some people that could have played pro basketball
Oh
in the
yeah.
NFL though.
Oh, definitely. There's pro basketball
And
players that I think could have played in the NFL. Like,
I
not
think
as
there's more
well.
pro
Yeah, yeah.
football
Oh yeah.
players
I
than
think
pro,
yeah.
yeah.
I think there's more.
Like Antonio Gates, like he was small, he could probably played pro basketball.
Yeah, I would say. I would say
Kyle
there's.
Rudolph.
Yeah, I would say there's more NFL players that could go and play NBA than there is NBA to come. But like, it's crazy to me. You don't like. I guess he's can't be that old, can he?
He's oldish. He's oldish. He was. I'm pretty sure he was on the Carolina.
He's 29.
Really?
Yeah, so like he's
Wait,
not like old.
was he a rookie once Cam won the MVP, went to the Super Bowl? Because he was on
Yeah,
he was on that team.
yeah, 2015 was his rookie year. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting for seeing the first ever NFL player to land a pro basketball contract. Tank Dell was a victim of a shooting. He was released
I
from
did
the
see that.
hospital. I guess it was like some teenage kid that shot up the place or whatever.
Yeah, I watched it, and he was okay. Things are crazy, man.
Wrong place, wrong time, I guess. Uh,
Yeah.
The NFL has now approved Guardian caps for in-game use.
Can the NFL get any softer, Skinny?
I am actually
Like, let's
100% shocked by this, just solely because of the whole
logos.
yeah, exactly.
Nike, Reeboks, Adidas, whatever the hell they fucking put on there.
Yeah, like everything that like even like the who they honor, shit like that, like things that get put on your helmets. Very shocked by that, but it's also like if you could use that technology for these Guardian caps on the helmet, why is it not go like why can't we get something that's inside the helmet that's gonna like it doesn't make any sense to me.
I bet you don't see a lot of them.
I am on it. Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm interested to see how many players actually wear it in a game. Like
I bet you don't see a lot of them. I'll guarantee it. There'll be some players, not a lot of players.
I like maybe one a team. Like I don't even know if it'll be that many. Honest, like
I
it'll
don't
be
think it'll be a
interesting.
lot.
It'll be interesting. But yeah, people.
Did you see it? With that though, have you seen the meme? You've watched Blue Mountain State,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes.
Obviously a classic.
Yes.
Any football fan loves it. And party fan as yourself. But have you seen? When Thad Castle goes on his like kumbaya thing where he like tackles the running back and he like holds him in his arms and puts him down? They're like the NFL after all the rules they passed.
Pretty much. And then the last bit of news here I have is, I guess today, Wednesday, on the New Heights pod, Jason said it's not officially official, but I saw this before that. Jason Kelsey is plans on sign. It's like official, but it's not officially official. You know what I'm saying? The P's and Q's haven't been crossed, but it's going to happen. It sounds like Jason Kelsey is signing with ESPN to be part of Monday Night Football.
Dude, that's cool, but like it's like these it almost makes me feel like the NFL's in trouble. That they have to sign all these people to like get more viewership in and stuff like that.
See, my thing is like, is it the NFL or is it all these random, all these different because it's all these broadcasting teams trying to be better than the other, Like I guess I saw that if Jason Kelsey signs this, RG3 is out. which shocks me because I think RG3 has been one of the
Is the better
yeah,
ones,
is one
yeah.
of the better guys that have been on there. I don't know if maybe ESPN's going to put him more towards college football, like he has been doing, or what. But
I mean, he's a college football legend, but
or if
I mean,
RG3,
Jason Kelsey would be entertaining, but like
yeah,
they have these people that like Greg Olson, who just kind of I'm not a big Greg Olson guy. Like Greg Olson loved him in fantasy, loved him as a player. Rock solid guy, class act, but just kind of sucks on there. People hate Tony Romo now too, I guess.
yeah, I feel like Tony kind of fell off compared to like his first,
What he
like,
was.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he was on Jason Kelsey. I think did a good job when he was on Amazon Prime. He's shown that he can do it. The podcast has definitely helped with that. But yeah, it's weird to see like you're gonna go and potentially get rid of. You're probably one of your better guys, but the other one too is, I mean, you think about it, ESPN Monday Night Football. Half the year you have Peyton and Eli on a broadcast, so that's gonna get watched over.
Yeah. You know what I miss? And I know there's controversy around him. I really enjoyed John Gruden on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
John Gruden he was fun. I miss the John Gruden fucking Corona commercials. Now Tony Romo tried to take that. Fuck you, Tony Romo, you bastard.
Well, Eli's been doing them. Eli Manning's been doing them. But
And the Manning cast is okay, but honestly, it's going to be such an unpopular opinion. I'd rather just watch the fucking game
yeah,
than hear him break it down. Like, I respect the Mannings, and obviously they're big and like they are, but I just would rather watch the game.
I love the entertainment. Like Eli is so fucking funny. Like it's not like you look at Eli and you're like, wow, this is a goofy guy, and then he, like just all the shit that he does and comes out of his mouth and like the stories you hear.
I just like I'm like, all right, yeah. Eli Manning.
I think Peyton tries too hard because Eli is natural at it. I think Peyton it's not really there for Peyton, so like Peyton tries a little bit too hard with it.
Well, it's probably true because think about it. Eli Manning was never going to be Peyton Manning. He just wasn't.
Yeah.
Like Eli Manning he's like the almost the like the anti Peyton Manning, where he just like didn't like he wasn't perfect. Like he literally like Eli Manning's an average quarterback. He's a Hall of Famer. He beat the best quarterback of all time twice, but he is average as fuck. Like his numbers, like he's the epitome of like an 85 overall on Madden. Like he's throwing like 28 touchdowns and probably like double digit picks like every fucking year.
Yeah.
But the thing about Eli Manning is Eli Manning does not give a fuck, dude. Eli Manning chucked that fucking ball up, man. Like, there's no one else that's throwing that OBJ fucking one-handed like touchdown because Eli Manning doesn't give a fuck. Like he never has. That's why I respect Eli Manning. He's kind of cool.
Yeah, but no, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like a lot of these ex NFL players are like Tom Brady has that one with CBS that he hasn't even like started. Like. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm an Eagles fan. Fuck yeah, I'd like to see Travis Kelce be doing it. We'll see how it goes. Most of the time, I might probably be watching the Manning cast over that one. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, next, bad betting. Last week did not go as well as planned. Dallas Turner was not the fucking first one off the board. Latu was. Terrion Arnold, I don't think was the first. No, he wasn't the first DB off the board. I can't remember. I guess I could look. And then,
who did Turk the first DB? It might have been you. It might have been you guys.
Let me go look.
No, it wasn't Nate Wiggins. I think it might have been. I think it might have been you guys, Skinny.
All right,
who else took a DB?
First DB was Quinyon Mitchell, which he was the second favorite.
God,
and then the first linebacker off the board was not.
Yeah, it was Dallas Turner. He is a linebacker, but I guess he's rush.
No, edge. That was edge. That was considered edge. Linebacker was Edrin Cooper though. So
your $10 turned into $0.
Well, I mean, that's if you parlayed. If you would have bet separately, because they were all plus. Like if you would have bet
Yeah,
$30, you would be like negative $10. I mean,
that's fair.
all right. So for bad betting, currently an update. The Nuggets Lakers ended 4-1. I was right. They didn't sweep. The Lakers got one, so that one currently hit. So we need the Bucks to force a game 7, so it goes 7 games. The Bucks don't have Giannis, so that sucks. And Damian Lillard might be out. I don't know. So it's difficult, but it could be done. So with this current bad betting, I'm including that into our stuff because they play tomorrow night. I guess tonight, Thursday night, when this is released. The Bucks play the Pacers. The Bucks are like plus 420 to win right now. The Bucks are gonna beat the Pacers to force Game 7, so that way our first bad betting can hit. The next one I have is tomorrow night or tonight. The 76ers beat the Knicks. They are also plus like something like 2 something or 300. And then I have the Minnesota versus Denver NBA game. I have that going 7 games. I think that's probably going to be one of the better
Oh,
series
for sure.
of the playoffs. So those 3 picks put us at plus 74.93. I think. Let me just make sure because I feel like it didn't release one of these bets, but I could be wrong. Yep, no, we're good. Oh, it actually just increased now that I look at it. It's at plus 8,100 right now. So $10 wins like $800. So if you want to all those things are plus whatever, plus odds. So not favored. So you could go bet on them separately, win some cash on some of them. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully bad betting starts. I mean, it's bad betting, so it doesn't matter if it hits or not because it's bad. But yeah, we'll go
That's
from there.
true.
And then moving on to the NFL draft.
Likes and dislikes.
We have, likes. We did 3 teams or picks that we liked, 3 teams or picks that we disliked, and then we, coverage of over like our favorite teams, clearly Vikings, Eagles, kind of go with that. So Marcus, why don't you get us started off with your likes or dislikes?
Like,
Yeah, whatever you want to go with.
I actually like the Steelers draft. I know that they had the LSU guy. What is his name? The LSU wide receiver that everyone wanted on the draft. Brandon. I can't think of his name right now.
The LSU.
Brendan.
Are you think
Wide receiver?
Malik Neighbors? Oh, Brian Thomas
No,
Jr.?
the other one. Brian Thomas Jr. Thank you. Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah. He was up there. People wanted him to take him. I think O-line is the best option they could have done at that. Their offensive line has been terrible. So first round they got Zach Frazier from Washington. Good pick. Don't hate it. They also hit with a couple people. Like, that Roman Wilson is going to be a stud wide receiver just because he got picked by the Steelers.
Yeah,
He's
much.
Michigan, so we really don't. I mean, honestly, we don't know what he's going to be. J.J. McCarthy wasn't known to throw the ball that much at Michigan, so
Yeah, I saw the
I
stat,
feel like
like
he would be.
Roman had like 1 drop or something like that. Like very good hands, very solid hands. So
You know he's going to be solid. Like, he's going to be solid. There's no doubt about it. And I think to steal the deal, he was like, some people say he was going to be a first round pick. A lot of people had him in second, but I think they got him in the 4th round. They got that Peyton Wilson.
Oh,
the
yeah,
linebacker
from
NC State.
Yeah, the dude is
And I think he dropped because of injuries, but dude's a fucking stud.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have his ACL is like basically like non-existent. So, but like I was watching a video, the dude ran like in-game speed, got up to over like 20 miles per hour, like just was hauling ass, chasing down people. Crazy at a linebacker spot. Crazy.
And they don't need another inside linebacker. They got Patrick Queen. They have that Holmes guy or Cole.
Well, they also have like high.
What is his name?
High
Cole.
too.
Yeah, Hightower's outside, and
Yeah,
so is
Watt.
what's this? What? But Kevin
Yeah, Holcomb.
Holcomb,
Yeah,
Cole Holcomb, who
whatever.
they have, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
So, but I liked it. I liked their draft a lot actually. So, after you, my friend.
Wait, did you just do all three like straight down the list, or did you do your first one?
I said my first one.
Oh, well,
Dallas Steelers.
you were talking about all these wide receivers, so I was like, in my mind, like I was getting discombobulated. Sorry. So I did teams. I didn't do players. Um, I really liked the
I
Panthers.
did players. I did teams too.
Oh,
I
okay.
just was
Yeah,
talking about the players for
I
the teams.
did. My first one is the Panthers draft. Um, you got young Bryce
Uh,
Young. You gotta get him.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Xavier, what's his name?
Xavier Leggett. I like him out of South Carolina. I think he's
If you
going to be
like them,
good.
don't
You
turn them
got
lights
Miles
down there.
Sanders and Chuba Hubbard were not it at running back. They had their issues.
Hmm.
Another part of that could have been their line was not good either. But you got Jonathan Brooks from Texas. Solid running back. I like that. He'll be able to run north and south, you know, outside stuff, and definitely help out a lot more than I think Miles Sanders and especially like those guys. Yeah, just were not good. Um,
Hmm.
then they got a linebacker, Trevin Wallace. I like that. Your defense needs it. Your defense was atrocious. You just need good positional players.
Starters, yeah.
Yeah, and then my last one that they got picked up was I really am high on him. Was Jatavion Sanders, the tight end out of Texas. Solid tight end. You didn't really like your two best players last year were Adam Thielen and then Hurst, right? That's who they had, I think. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
they had Hurst,
but
yeah.
Hurst like fell off at one point. But
Yeah.
I think Sanders is going to be good for the run game compared to Hurst. Um, and then he gives you another big weapon target to because the biggest thing is you just need to give Bryce Young targets and reliable
Fast
targets.
targets, not
Yeah.
Adam Thielen.
So yeah, and Adam Thielen's older. His I know he was their number one last year, but his production
1,000-yard receiver.
assuming is gonna fall off a little bit with adding all these receivers and being a little bit older, but who knows? But yeah, I really like the Panthers draft. Got more targets and weapons for that Bryce Young offense.
Hmm. I hate to say it. I don't like saying this, but I really like the Eagles draft this year. Biggest issue last year was their secondary and their linebackers. They went and got Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. Depends on who you're looking at, the best DB or the second best DB. And then in the second round, like I said they were going to, they got fucking Cooper DeJean, dude. Why? Why would you just get like the biggest like steal of the draft in the second round like the Eagles would? Uh People were obviously scared of that ACL tear, which doesn't matter anymore because Adrian Peterson said it was fake and a fraud. So uh, I love that. You guys need DB help. Your DBs are old. Like this is the future. You guys are going to have an excellent DB room.
5 years. We have him for 5 years.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like last year where Jalen Carter felt like we traded up to get him. We traded up to get him too. In the second round, but
Hmm.
like the fact that people kept passing up on these players that arguably could be number ones. I mean, Jalen Carter
Yep.
was the best defense, arguably the best defensive player, best player in the draft overall. I mean,
Yeah. Got literally got shafted for defensive player of
yeah,
the year
yeah,
because a rookie defensive rookie of the year because he should have been. He was better. I don't care what anyone says. Best defensive rookie last year. And then they in the fifth round they got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He was literally one of the most productive linebackers last year, and they got him in the fifth round. Like
he fell.
I don't know. I
He
feel like that
fell
was good.
far.
He fell far. I'm upset Minnesota didn't get him. Like, granted, we don't need any more linebackers, Jesus Christ, but
I'll talk about it later because clearly, we'll dive into it. But I projected some of those picks. Just you'll see. So my next is I really love the Colts draft. Um, They went and got Latu at edge, which, the available edge at the time, Latu was, a lot of teams were looking over Latu, clearly the Colts were, but I think Dallas Turner was another one. I guess Dallas Turner had some questionable health issues, so that's where one reason why he potentially fell. But you can't go wrong with either, in my opinion, but I think Dallas Turner probably was the better one. Then the biggest one here is Adonai Mitchell falling to them in the second round. I was shocked that he did not make it in the first round, but I guess with him there's question about his off-season stuff, off the field stuff, whatever. He's Xavier Worthy running the 4.240. I think made people
overshadow
what Adonai Mitchell was at Texas.
Yeah, I agree.
They saw that, they got
Adonai was number one though. He was like the number one target. Yeah, that's
like it just was crazy to me. Him, Michael Pittman Jr. That's a solid duo there. Your offensive line, it's something that they've needed a little bit of help with.
Well, they also got Josh Downs, who was really good last year too.
Yeah. And they have that Alec Pierce guy too, who wasn't too bad. Whatever.
Yeah.
Their offensive line, good. It's been shaky the last couple of years, so they went and got the center for Tanner Bartoloni from Wisconsin. The big thing with me is Big Ten. You need offensive line, defensive line, solid center, gonna help come back, regroup that offensive line. They've been doing it feels like everybody on that, they have such good linemen, but they're always injured. That's the crazy part with them. And then what was it, the year with Wentz, they just underperformed. And then their DBs last year were not good. Their just defensive backs in general. They went double safety and got Jalen Carleys from Missouri and Jalen Simpson from Auburn. I didn't watch Jalen Carleys as much with Missouri, but Jalen Simpson I like from Auburn. He was very productive and very good. I think going the double safety route is very smart for them. I know they brought back that safety in free agency. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But these are two young guys that are going to learn, potentially, start throughout the year, and help that defensive secondary be way better than what they were.
My last favorite draft out of all the drafts was the Washington Commanders. So I've been saying it since day one. I thought Jaden Daniels had the highest floor out of the quarterbacks in the draft, and they drafted the right guy. I thought Jaden Daniels was the right pick. To me, could he put on a little bit of weight? He's pretty skinny. The durability, because he is so skinny, could be an issue. But I liked how he played last year with LSU. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. He played with elite talent at the wide receiver level, both first-round picks. But I do believe that he will be able to come out and do a lot of great things.
It's not like he's getting put in a situation like Bryce Young where his receiver, or even Drake May, where his receivers are Juju Smith. I mean, again, Adam Thielen. People had questions on. Well, Juju, he's getting Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Austin Eckler out of the backfield. He is in a
Luke McCaffrey now.
Yeah, Luke McCaffrey. He's in a very good situation in terms of not as good as Caleb Williams, but in a very good situation for pass catchers.
Yep. So I like that. Then the second round they took Johnny Newton from Illinois, who was actually projected to be a first-round pick in a lot of mock drafts.
Yeah.
So he's very productive defensive lineman. And then in the third round they got Luke McCaffrey, who I felt like had a pretty good combine and stuff like that. His brother's good. Doesn't mean he'll be good, but I feel like he can run the ball. I feel like he might be able to fill the role that they had for the Curtis Samuel if they still want that.
Yeah.
So I liked their draft. I thought they picked the right guy in the draft, and I feel like they improved that team enough where obviously the NFC East is hard because you got the Cowboys and Eagles, but they could be a competitor for sure with what they have. So
yeah, I agree. You could see an RG3 type year, where
you literally
playoffs,
could. He's someone that honestly, this is too early to tell. I wouldn't mind leaving the draft with him as my quarterback one. I talked about Sheldon Richardson, or not Sheldon Richardson, AR-15 Anthony Richardson, all last year about how like I'm okay taking him, and I did take him. And you know what? Those first 5 weeks that he started, I was on cloud nine. I was looking like a fucking genius. He was really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was a top 10 quarterback, and then he fucking has to fucking man's the most reckless fucking player in the NFL though. Most reckless. Did not give a fuck about
Well,
his
and
body
that's
at
the
all.
thing is that's Jaden Daniels. So
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see if that.
but you know what? The thing about him, he's a better passer than Anthony Richardson by far.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
By far, he's legitimately like he legitimately can throw the ball, and he legitimately has a good crew. Austin Eckler to me takes a little bit of downgrade from this because he is so reliant on receiving for fantasy football and just in general as a player. So I feel like he's not going to get as much, but like he still can run the ball. He's still a touchdown snob. So like I feel like this team could honestly. Before I always avoided Terry McLaurin and stuff like that because just the quarterback play was so bad. Like I feel like Washington has a legitimate quarterback that could really boost up these players if he hits.
Yeah,
Like he should.
yeah. No, I agree. So my last one, I didn't do my Eagles just because I felt like that was too easy.
Yeah, because they suck.
I like the Saints draft. They went and addressed their tackle. They got Flaga from Morgan State.
Yep.
That's what they needed. Really like that.
Good.
They needed some, and then their defense has been bad, even though they have some stars. But they went and got Kool-Aid McKinstry at DB, so we'll have him,
Good pick.
opposite of Marshawn Lattimore. They went and got Jalen Ford, who I liked out of Texas at linebacker later, and then they got arguably, if he would have been able to declare for the draft after his Oklahoma years, Spencer Rattler. They got him in the fifth. He should have been probably drafted in the third or fourth, in my opinion, way earlier. He has a bunch of talent to be a quarterback, and Derek Carr has. Again, I don't think it's all on Derek Carr, but Derek Carr has not met expectations for them.
You know what? Just pass it to fucking Chris Olave, Derek Carr, and I'd have no issues.
And I think Spencer Rattler, being able to actually develop for the next year or two while they do deal with Derek Carr, I think Spencer Rattler has a higher ceiling than most people think in the NFL with his time of just learning. Like I think he's super talented, and people forget how talented he is because of his attitude, the TV show that he did in high school, fucking what's it called? The football show.
I don't know.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. Where there's people when people have attitudes like that, everybody discredits their actual talent. They're he's such a bad guy. Well, I think Rattler's going to be fine. I like the Saints addressing what they needed and getting a quarterback potentially for the future where when Derek Carr potentially is going to get hurt again this season, could get a guy like him thrown in there after a couple weeks of learning and potentially could actually go and actually get the job done.
Yeah, I mean it's a low risk, possible
high
value
reward
pick,
in my
so.
opinion. Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't like Spencer Rattler, but he is talented. He did start over Caleb Williams too, so
Yeah.
take it as you may.
And
Take it as you may.
He played very well at South Carolina.
Yeah,
Think
he
about
did.
it. He was throwing it to Xavier Leggett, who was a first round pick.
Yeah. My boy Xavier Leggett. Goddamn boy. We country boys over here, Xavier.
All right, go with your first dislike.
Atlanta. I've been waiting to say it. Atlanta Falcons. Not only did you cheat to get Kirk Cousins, not only did you break NFL rules to talk to Kirk Cousins before free agency started. Interesting. Okay. You went in and with the 8th overall pick, you took a 24, soon to be 25-year-old quarterback at Michael Penix Jr. Who? Let me just phrase this. I'm not going to shit on Michael Penix Jr. I like Michael Penix Jr. I think that if someone else took him, it was the right pick. If Minnesota took him, I'd be like, okay, you took him with the 10th overall pick. I get it. He had a very productive career in Washington. He's very talented. Can he read a defense? Probably not, but he had like two of the best receivers in the whole NCAA or not NCAA, yeah, NCAA, NCAA. God,
NCAA and NCAA are the exact same
NCAA.
thing. You
I
just
don't
said
know.
it
I don't know.
differently.
Yeah, NCAA, NCAA, whatever.
Jeez,
But
you're drunk. Go home.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I need to go home. I'm not drunk. Don't worry about it. But you take Michael Penix Jr., who's 24 years old, going to be 25 years old. If Kirk Cousins does 2 years, he's 26 years old, 27 years old. If he does 3 years, he's 27, 28 years old. If he does 4 years, he's 28, 29 years old. What are you doing, Atlanta? There's so many more needs. Like you could have got another offensive line. You could have got another receiver. You could have got out Rome Odunze there, and I would have been like, okay, that's a great pick. You could have got a defender. You could have got Dallas Turner. Who cares? You could have literally got anything but Michael Penix Jr. there. Like it doesn't matter what you did with the rest of your draft. You ruined your draft because you paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, $100 million guaranteed, 4 years. Do the math. I don't need to do it for you. You do all that, and then you take Michael Penix Jr., who has an injury history, who also is an older quarterback who played like what 6 years in the NCAA, 4 years in the NCAA because COVID year, whatever. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot. You take JJ McCarthy, I'm never gonna bitch about that pick. Like, it makes more sense, does it to you?
A little bit, but I still would have bitched about it. If you're taking
I mean, like,
if you're taking a quarterback in the top 10 at that situation, but you just signed a guy for 4 years, $180 million, it shows me a couple things. You're not confident in Kirk. You worry about Kirk's health being reliable. Like,
something.
you don't plan on going with Kirk for the full 4 years. Like what is going through your like?
2 years. Say you give Kirk 2 years. You're gonna pay Kirk Cousins $50 million a year. 3 years. You're gonna pay him more. So whatever the math is on that, but you're gonna pay Kirk. Let's say he just gets the $100 million, which it wouldn't be. It'd be like three-quarters of the contract. So I'd be like, what? 140
20, let's say.
million.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
140. Like you're paying him $45 million a year. Like, come on, dude. Come on now. Let's be so for real. Like, you guys made a bad mistake. You stole a quarterback from Minnesota. We didn't get our first round pick, which we would have drafted. Probably it's probably better because we probably would have got JJ with the 8th. But we'd had 3 first round picks or maybe 2 first round picks. Whatever we'd done something crazy. But still, like you messed up a draft and then you tried to say, oh, we're doing the Green Bay Packers thing where, they like draft Aaron Rodgers while Brett Favre still like has like 3 years left. And then we draft Jordan Love because he has 3 years left. Guess what, Atlanta? You guys don't win Super Bowls. You know those things, those rings that Minnesota doesn't win either, but that Green Bay's done. And guess what? Did Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl during that time? If they had T. Higgins, could the Packers have won a Super Bowl? Fucking maybe. Oh, wait, what else? Did Favre win a Super Bowl in that time? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. It's a dumb idea. Why would you do that? Why would you do that when you had Kirk? If you got him, you could have got so much more value. And honestly, I don't know. The Raiders would have probably taken Penix. I'm not going to lie. Penix was probably going in the first round. So, but you could have traded back. You could have traded back with someone. Like, you could have still got something. Like, I don't know. Like, out of everything you got, if they got Spencer Rattler or what's my guy from FSU that I love?
Jordan Travis.
Again, Jordan Travis. I would have said, oh, that's awesome. That's so smart. You got a quarterback in the late round. Like, Atlanta might have the best draft in the whole thing, but no, you take Michael Penix Jr. at 8. Terrible. That's all I have to say. Nothing else that they picked. Michael Penix Jr., I did not understand that pick. I did not understand that at all.
My first dislike was the Titans taking J.C. Latham over Fashanu in the first round.
That was weird.
J.C. Latham was a reach. He was projected
Yeah.
15 to 20, and he goes, what, 7? You have
Hmm.
Olu Fashanu, who was like the highest rated tackle in like pass coverage and like all that. Like, it doesn't make sense to be reaching when Fashanu was like right there for you. I think
Hmm.
I'm not saying J.C. Latham wasn't good, but that 10 picks is a huge difference, and I think
Yeah, it is.
Fashanu was your for sure solid pick at that moment, and he fucked it up taking Latham that early.
Especially in that top 10.
Yeah,
That top 10, once you get out of the 15, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter as much. Like everyone's kind of reaching or
yeah,
whatever. But that top
yeah,
10, that's a big deal.
yeah. I think it was a reach.
Um, my next one is the Raiders. Brock Bowers at 13. I get it. I think the Raiders had no plan for this. I think that they thought they were going to have a quarterback there.
Yep, I think their whole plan was Michael Penix at
Yeah,
that
I think they
spot,
thought he was going to get Penix,
and that was it.
which,
Like,
which I don't blame the Raiders for that. But your offensive line sucks. Who are your linebackers? I can't name two. You could use DB help. You could use your D line's pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
But like,
your D line's fine. Your offensive line needs help. You have Jacoby Myers and uh,
mhm.
uh, uh, Devontae Adams. Like, yeah, you could use. You just
Oh,
drafted
you
Michael
could.
Mayer, who Michael Mayer was a good tight end,
Yes, he
just did not
was,
get targets. You had
and he
inconsistent
didn't.
quarterback play. That you had very inconsistent
Mhm.
quarterback play. So of course your tight end that you were highly valued on, which didn't perform up to expectations. Of course, that's going to happen because your
And
quarterback
honestly,
was bad.
if they didn't take Bowers, I don't know where Bowers would have gone. Do you?
I
He might
think
have fallen a little bit.
I think honestly he was on the. I'm not saying the Colts would have changed their decision, but the Colts might have taken him. But he could have, based off of the looking at the draft, he could have fell out of the top 20 just because of like what
Yeah,
what was going. But yeah, I agree. The
and it
Brock,
made no sense.
like, I get it because he can play a wide receiver role, but he'll be cheaper if you decide to extend him that compared to a wide receiver. But you had you have Gardner Minshew, you already have pass catchers. Go get a quarterback or an offensive lineman to go protect your
Yeah,
guy. Go get
and
a
maybe
defensive
they
back.
like O'Connell too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
O'Connell might have been the best play action quarterback last year in the league. One of them, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like
It was just weird.
he could be the future. Like I like O'Connell, like he could be the future. He to me he kind of screams like a journeyman type player
Yeah.
that he'll get opportunities to start, but he'll never be like legitimate. Like that's my franchise quarterback,
Oh,
but
so Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, literally who they have.
yeah.
But who
Yeah.
knows?
No, I agree. I don't know. My next one was the Cowboys draft. What do you need? You need a RB1.
Uh-huh.
You did go after lineman. You got him.
Linebackers too.
You need linebackers, but the other thing you need on your offense is you need wide receivers outside of CD Lamb.
Uh-huh.
You waited until the 6th round to draft a wide receiver. 6th round. I know they were deep, but I don't think your 6th round draft. I don't even remember who the fuck it was, but like you waited till the 6th round, and you didn't even draft a running back. You could have went and got a cheap, good running back and gotten some value out of him and do exactly what you did with Zeke. Maybe not as good as Zeke, clearly, but like you could have ran the shit out of him for the next 4 years and used them and all that for super cheap, super cheap. The fact that they didn't even draft a running back, but they'll draft Deuce Vaughn because his dad works for the team, or who's that other guy they just drafted last year? Rico or something, I can't remember his name, but like it just didn't make sense. Did not make sense to your offense lost weapons. I know your defense did too, but like you needed to address, I think, at least one of those because CD can't be the only pass catcher, and I know you got Zeke now, but even then, Zeke's old. You could have gotten a younger, more reliable RB1 in this draft, and you didn't. You're gonna have Zeke, and then you're gonna have Deuce Vaughn and this Rico, was it Dwiddle or something like
Dowell,
that? Dowell,
Dowell,
yeah, Dowdle.
Dowell, Rico Dowell.
Like, yeah, sure, but like I don't think it's gonna be as good as they think it is. So I was not coming
Hey,
from an
I
Eagles
don't
fan,
care.
coming from an NFL fan.
I don't care. Zeke's going to be cheap in drafts, and he'll be a starting running back. So
Yeah.
fuck it. I don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I think so. Fantasy
Yeah,
football
no, I
like
get it. I get it.
mentality, but like that's the first thing I think. Zeke's going to be cheap. Zeke's going to be like a seventh round, eighth round pick for a starting running back. Like whatever. My last one's the Broncos.
All right, I guess.
Denver.
Who'd you not like?
I like. I didn't like Bo Nix at 12. I felt like you could have traded back. I get why they reached for Bo Nix, but like honestly, Denver, you have so many holes on that team. You always think you're a quarterback away. Like I feel like it was a waste of where Bo Nix could have gone. Like I would have
Yeah.
liked Bo Nix better with the Raiders, honestly. Like I feel like he would have had more success. Like Cortland Sutton, are they going to keep him? Are they not going to keep him? Who knows? They say they're going to keep him, but like there's no weapons. You got rid of Jerry Jeudy. Like you have freaking that guy that tore his ACL last year that was okay. That play,
Uh,
he's been around the league.
Patrick Hamler,
No, not Hamler.
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick. You have him. Your tight ends. You have fucking Greg Dortch, who they didn't use last year.
Yeah.
I'm not confident. Like I'm telling you this right now. Sean Payton is full of shit. Once he said that he baited the Vikings into trading up for that pick, he's like, we didn't want JJ McCarthy. Fuck off. Fuck off. That's such horse shit bullshit. Your team has so many holes. Maybe actually focus on like fixing those holes instead of thinking you're a quarterback away, because if Russell Wilson can't do it on that team, I'm telling you right now, with a worse team too, by the way, Bo Nix is in trouble. I think Bo Nix's career is going to be ruined just because the Broncos made that pick, because they don't have the team to get a quarterback. Stick around, suck, Sean Payton, because they're not going to fire you. They got you for a reason. Let Zach Wilson run the show. Have another bad year, and they're going to get a top 10 pick. Get a good quarterback in next year's draft. Get a Sanders or get a whoever else is going to be out there. Get someone that actually can lead this team. Bo Nix, like I said, I do like Bo Nix. I just don't think that that's going to do anything. And then, honestly, if you don't want, what's his face, Zach Wilson, write a Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Well,
Teams aren't writing Carson Wentz. Why not?
he's on the Chiefs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is on the Chiefs. All right.
Well, still,
You have
they
any-
did get his college teammate Troy Franklin in the fourth, which okay, at least they got him someone else to throw to, and they do have Marvin Mims and
I like Troy
and
Franklin.
yeah, like they have done some stuff, but I just don't. I don't know how I feel about this Broncos team. I don't feel like Bo Nix is set up for success in that team, and I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
confident.
I feel like for me, clearly, yeah, drafting a quarterback at some point would have been smart. But I think like you said, you could have traded back if that was really what you wanted. You could have traded back, got a couple more picks out of it for later in the draft, and gotten position you actually need defensively.
Yeah.
Offensive line. Yeah, I agree.
And the Raiders were going to take Nix. Nix wasn't going to go that far. Like, I get it, but, like, the Raiders are in a better position for success for Nix than the Broncos are. I really do believe that. Like, the Broncos have a lot of holes. Their offensive line is ass. Like, the Raiders, if Nix was on the Raiders, if the Raiders picked Nix, I feel like I would feel better about the Raiders draft to be honest. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
My last dislike was the Bears. I'm not whatever. Caleb Williams, whatever. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want with that.
Roma Dunze, Skinny hates. He
Uh,
hates Roma Dunze.
I hated them taking a pick at 9. I really did. I was not a fan of it. 9 could have gotten you more draft capital. You only had 5 picks. Only 5. You could have gotten another
Yeah.
2 to 3 picks out of that number 9 spot. Um, Again, wide receiver was deep in those first couple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was deep all around. I think you were getting talent,
Caleb
but
Williams had to have had an opinion
yeah,
on
there
Roma
something. But
Dunze.
like, you could have. You needed DB. You needed you needed more defense, and then to top it on top of that, I get it. He was arguably the best puncher in the NCAA coming out of Iowa, but
Damn right he was.
they draft a punter in the 4th round. Come on, really?
Hey, hey. All I gotta say is they're gonna be punting a lot this year because Caleb Williams is
I don't
ass.
care.
So.
That was a reach. The
Yeah.
Doomsday that should have traded back. I think having just DJ Moore and Keenan Allen is solid. You could have gotten another. There were so many wide receivers available that you didn't need a day one number one like a Doomsday.
And the
Yeah,
lineman and defense, like yeah, I like a Dunze. I'm okay with that one, probably more than you are, probably,
like I'm
because
not
I'm
saying
like
it's a
he
bad
is
pick. I'm
really
not saying it's a
talented.
bad. It's a
Yeah.
bad. I'm not saying I don't hate the pick. I just dislike it. Like yeah, Keenan Allen's older. Clearly, how long is his productivity going to be? Clearly, you need a wide receiver too at that point. But I feel like for everything else, you could have still gotten a bunch of assets out of that pick and still got a decent wide receiver that doesn't have to be number 1 right away or number 2 right away because you already have that. And then
Yeah.
um, get positional needs. I know I was
Well, you replaced Keenan Allen with Keenan Allen, basically. You know what I mean?
and
Like,
like I mean look at here. I mean I know I say they need help at DB. This is and like wide receiver like Michael Thomas is available still. Could have went and got him. But like DB right now, free agent DB Tyler Boyd's still available. But like Hunter Renfro, Allen Robinson, like Odell,
hmm
but like DB Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, Justin Simmons, Jamal Adams, J.C. Jackson, Quandre Diggs, Eddie Jackson, Steven Nelson, Adoree Jackson, and Micah Hyde are all still available. That's insane to me that
that is crazy.
they're not on teams. I was shocked.
Yeah,
But all right,
that is.
last piece here. We're gonna just do a brief rundown of the Week 5 UFL games. Marcus, go ahead and get us started with.
Oh, are we not going to talk about our drafts?
Oh yeah. Sorry, let's do that quick. Um,
Um, Minnesota first overall pick, 10th overall pick is JJ McCarthy. He threw for 6,260 or 226 yards, 49 touchdowns, 11 picks, 72.3 completion percentage, 2-year full starter, rushed for 632 yards and 10 touchdowns, 27-1 college record. I'm so mixed on this. I don't know what to feel. Like I'm like it's not what I wanted. Like I would feel better. Bo Nix is more pro ready, I think, uh than JJ was, but JJ's obviously more talented. He's a lot younger too. He's only 21 years old, and obviously, if the Vikings took it, Jordan said a little bit, it's got to be who Justin Jefferson wanted.
JJ to JJ, that JJ connection. It's going to be some bullshit. The Vikings you're going to see it on social media and all that during the
Yeah,
season.
JJ to JJ. Yeah, I don't know how I feel. He and I could be wrong, and I'm gonna keep it very neutral because I want to keep it neutral. I will say this though, he reminds me a lot of Zach Wilson coming into the league. He looks like Zach Wilson to me. He throws like Zach Wilson. He's athletic like Zach Wilson. Hopefully, he's the opposite of Zach Wilson. He's really fucking good, but I'm a little bit worried about that. We also traded up in the first round to the number 17 pick, which I was kind of impressed with. I didn't love the pick. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't love the pick. Yeah, I didn't because I didn't think that that's what we needed. I wish we would have taken a DB here.
Mm.
I really do. It's unpopular opinion, but I do, or an offensive lineman because our interior offensive linemen suck.
When Dallas Turner has 13 and a half
He's really
sacks,
good.
when Dallas Turner has 13 and a half sacks, I'll remember this.
You remember it, and then I'll eat my hat. I will admit that I was wrong because I will admit that I was wrong. Dallas Turner is really good. I don't hate the pick. I'll take that, but I kind of wish we went a different route. We have four linebackers that I think are legitimate starters. Like Andrew Van Winkle, I think is legitimate. He can play outside. He can be a little bit of a pass rusher guy. Dallas Turner's more of a pass rusher, but Van Winkle will play. Um, we had the guy last year. It wasn't Brian Asamuga, but we had another rookie linebacker that played really well. We went and got the guy from the Texans, not Greenald. What is his name? You're gonna have to look him up, Skinny. You know me, off season Marcus, but we got him. He's it's not Blake Cashman, is it? Blake Cashman. God, I'm good. Uh, he he's gonna be a solid starter. He's probably not the best. And then we got Greenald. It's not the guy from the 49ers, but it's the guy from the Texans. What's his first name?
Brian Asamoah II, Abraham Beauplan, Blake Cashman, KJ Cloyd, Dallas Gant, Ivan Pace Jr.,
He is good. That's the other guy that I think will start inside.
Donovan Manuel.
But I just felt like there were so many more places that we could hit there. Our DBs, questionable. Our safeties are really good, but our cornerbacks, not so good. Our defensive line is ass. And he's not going to play defensive line. He's going to play outside, right, 3-4 outside, right, or linebacker, probably right or left linebacker, whatever, probably right. But I just felt like we could have done other things with this pick. We could have got another receiver. I'm not saying that I would have loved that, but I mean, JJ might not be there next year.
Yeah.
There's that possibility, and we do need to build off that. So, like, was Dallas Turner a great pick there? Yes. Was it what I necessarily think that we needed? Maybe not. We took the best available player at 17. Like, that was a good pick. I just have my reserves about it right now. We'll see what happens. He did have 22 and a half sacks, two forced fumbles as a 2-year starter or 3-year starter, and two fumble recoveries. At pick 108, we took Kyron Jackson from Oregon. He played his first 2 years at Alabama, so we took three Alabama players, and Vikings never draft Alabama players, which is really weird. Last year he had his best year. He had 3 picks and 7 pass deflections. You are an Oregon Ducks fan. You can probably speak more on this pick. I feel like it's decent value at
I
what
mean,
it
think
is.
about
And
it. He
Vikings,
played Washington twice. I mean,
yeah,
kind of got a little burnt toast against some of the bigger names, but I think he's a solid DB for you guys.
yeah. I don't think he'll be like. I don't think he'll be our big guys. Byron Murphy Jr. is going to start. We
Yeah.
also took Shaq Griffin, who might start, and then we took our second round pick. What the fuck? I can't think of his name, but he
Well, you have
he
Andrew
did
Booth
our
Jr., who played well. You got Shaq Griffin. You got Byron Murphy, Jalen
yeah.
Williams,
We have another guy too that did really well.
Najee
We took him
Thompson,
last year. No, keep going through names. Makai
Makai
Blackman.
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 Yeah,
Yeah. He played really good. Where did he go to school? Was it Clemson or
USC. Andrew
USC?
Booth
Okay.
went to
But he
Clemson.
and Andrew Booth Jr. He kind of been a little bit of a bust. We took him pretty early. Same thing with Lewis Klein. Was not really good. Who's
Yeah,
also a safety, but
yeah. No, I think it's a solid pick with that DB room. I think he'll probably be your 4 or 5 this
yep.
year.
We took tackle Walter Rouse out of Oklahoma. He started 28 games in college, which is kind of a decent amount. 3 years at Stanford, and then went to Oklahoma 1 year, played 13 games. I think it's a solid pick. I'm not going to complain about it. It's a 6th round pick. Who cares? We also took our last Alabama player with Will uh, Richard. I don't know how you pronounce it. Reichard? Richard, the kicker from Alabama. 84% completion percentage as a kicker, so decent.
You guys took a
Um,
kicker. That's funny.
yeah, we did take a kicker. Well, fuck, we need a kicker. And then in the seventh round, we took O lineman Michael Jurgens from Wake Forest. And then with our other seventh round pick, we took defensive lineman Drake Rodriguez from Texas A&M. 88 tackles, 13 and a half tackles for a loss, 7.5 sacks, and then one forced fumble, two fumble recoveries played in 21 games. So I think we had an okay draft. I don't know if a lot of these guys will be anything but depth or even make the roster, but we'll see. JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner. It's a big draft for this team.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that we needed Dallas Turner. I like Dallas Turner. Like, I think that's a good pick, but I don't know. I don't know. Could we have taken Quinyon Mitchell at 17? Would it have been a stretch? Would it have been good? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Eagles killed the draft. I wasn't happy at the time of it because I thought there was better options, but it all makes sense because it all came together. First round, we drafted Quinyon Mitchell, who arguably, again, number one DB, Terrion Arnold, Cooper DeJean, whatever you had, top three. I really wanted DeJean there. I thought I think he's better overall, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I still like the pick. He's a top three guy. Again, the only thing that worries me a little bit is he played at Toledo. So, again, smaller school, wasn't playing the big names. But I think, again, it'll be fine. And then second round, we traded up and went and got the boy Cooper DeJean because for some reason, every GM, executive, whatever, who's making draft picks is an idiot and likes to let talent like this fall into the hands of the Eagles. And I don't know why. I don't understand. I love it. Everybody, like, when I was listening to that when they picked him, they were like, "Oh, we don't know if he's going to play safety or DB or cornerback." He's going to play cornerback. He's not going to be safety. We have our safeties, our two starting safeties. It's fine. He is drafted to be a cornerback because that's what he played and that's what he's good at. Maybe even special teams and probably more special teams maybe
Hmm.
for the first year. But
I would not be surprised if you guys cut one of your starting corners by the end of the
see,
by the beginning of the
it's
regular
hard for
season.
me to say we will, but at the same time, it's if we
It's
have if
possible.
we have Bradbury on the team, and if we don't have him on the team, if we cut him, we like it's $1 million difference. Like we have to pay him no matter what, or like it doesn't. We pay him about the same amount of money no matter what. So like we don't really
Yeah.
save anything. So at that point, it's like why don't you just keep the veteran presence on your roster? Darius
Hmm.
Slay, we get Rogers back. We have these guys. He's not somebody that's going to have to be the number one every those type of things. Um, then we got Jalex Hunt. I don't know much about him because he's from Houston Christian. He's an edge rusher. I looked at his highlights. They seem good, but again, Houston Christian level of competition is a huge thing. So can't really. He looks good. I mean, we needed the edge rush. Whatever. We do that with our defensive line. I thought this one was a little questionable just because we have Barkley, we have Gainwell. We drafted Will Shipley running back, but I think
I saw that.
when I think I looked at the picks though, we drafted right before Dallas. Like not right before, but like Dallas was a couple picks behind us, and like after we drafted Will Shipley, like some other running backs came off the board. So I'm wondering if like Howie was like, we're gonna kind of make sure the Cowboys don't get a running back here unless they trade. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
don't. I don't think that's
Will
what it is.
Shipley's not a
But
starter
yeah,
in the NFL,
yeah.
I don't
I
think.
I don't know what that kind of pick was. Um, then the fifth round we got we kept trading. Well, the other one too is we kept trading back. Like Howie just like I think we traded back 4 times. I'll take it, I guess. But then we got Anais Smith from Texas A&M, wide receiver. We needed a wide receiver. I like it. We don't. I guess we don't need a wide receiver. We needed a third option. We have some guys that can fill that role. I like it. Now, day 3 of the draft, on the podcast, I tweeted the Eagles will draft. Well, okay, not my for sure words, but I basically said the Eagles will draft Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Johnny Wilson today. Or by the end of the day, these guys will be Eagles. And sure as shit, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Johnny Wilson were Eagles by the end of the day. His dad played in Philly. We brought in Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I love it. Really surprised he fell to the 5th round. Very shocking.
I am too.
And then we got Trevor Keegan in the 5th round, guard from Michigan, which I like because... And then in the 6th round, we drafted another guard from NC State, Dylan McMahon. To me, that kind of shows that...
You're trying to rebuild that out.
Yeah, and Juergens is going to be center, most likely, instead of guard. You know, like, it's kind of, now that Kelsey's gone, he's kind of officially going to be the center, and then we're just trying to fill in guard roles now to replace him. I still think we're fine now, but, you know, with youth and stuff. At that, and then in the 6th round, we also got Johnny Wilson, which was shocking, because I really wanted Johnny Wilson out of Florida State. But he was like the number 1 on best available for like a round and a half. I was really shocked. Teams kept passing him up. And the fact that he fell to the 6th to the Eagles, I'll take it. But now, like next year, because we traded back, we have 2/3, 2/4, 2/5, probably even more now. But like, I'll take it. I think we had a good draft. We covered our big ones were the DBs. And we got depth and youth there. But okay, now moving on. We were taking way longer than you wanted to.
UFL, I know. So, we're like double the time, but it is what it is.
We'll just kind of like
we'll bruise through.
All right,
UFL.
go ahead with the first game.
Brahmas 25, Renegades 15. The only player that really stood out in this game is John Lovett. 13 carries, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Brahmas.
Yeah, big game.
Yeah, Renegades, worst team in the UFL, is what it is.
Their wide receiver, Javonta Payton, had 7 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown, but they were also down for most of the game, so they got to throw the fuck out of the ball.
Mm-hmm. Stallions 32 versus Roughnecks 9. Kind of crazy. Adrian Martinez, like, literally cannot fucking pass the ball. He went 11 for 20, 150 yards, 55 yards, and 1 passing touchdown. Rushed for 9 carries, 138 yards, and rushing yards. The Stallions are the team to beat, man.
Well, the crazy thing is with the Stallions is it's a new quarterback. Like Matt Corral's going to come. Matt Corral is probably going to play this week. You know, like he's going to be the quarterback while Adrian Martinez sits on the bench. Like, It's crazy to me that they're doing that.
I don't get it.
With 2 different quarterbacks. Maybe even 3, because I know that they had another guy playing.
It is crazy. Obviously, Battlehawks 45 versus the DC Defenders 12. First time in XFL, UFL, NEFL history that the St. Louis Battlehawks beat the DC Defenders. It was kind of a rocky game. I watched most of this. Kind of crazy because What are you looking at? What are you looking at? I don't know what you're doing.
I'm trying to make a big old 0.
A heart? A heart?
No, a 0. I'm making a 0.
Look, the hearts are coming. The hearts are coming.
I'm making a 0.
Heart?
This is a heart. Yeah. I'm making a 0 for, that's how many points our defense allowed in the second half.
Yeah. Our defense was legit. AJ McCarron went 14 for 24, 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hakeem Butler had 90% of those yards, 6 touchdowns, 147 yards and 2 touchdowns.
6 catches,
and
not touchdowns.
6 catches, 2 touchdowns, 147 yards. Hakeem Butler is the best wide receiver in the UFL right now.
Had a
Like
slow
the
week.
dude took
Had a
off.
slow week one, and now leads the NFL or the UFL in receptions, receiving
Yeah,
yards.
and receiving yards. Yeah, and his touchdown, he just mossed that dude
80,
twice. Like
80
he looks
yards.
like
Yeah, 80. Yeah,
yeah,
he almost had
looks like
a third touchdown. Was like a half an inch away from keeping his feet
mhm.
in.
Looks like the UFL Calvin Johnson Jr. That's all I'm saying.
Our defense
And then the
caused
last,
our defense caused 4 turnovers and had 2 blocked punts.
yeah, it was good. It was a really fun game to watch. Jordan Ta'amu, our former quarterback, throwing Samoan sucks ass and
3 picks.
just
Yeah, did not look good.
yeah, and a fumble,
Did
which
not look
fumble
good
that
at
they
all.
got. The Michigan Panthers versus the Steamboats, 35-18. West Hills had 13 rushing attempts for 82 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Panthers. Troy Williamson, the Showboats quarterback, had 3 passing touchdowns and 2 interceptions for 248 yards. And then the Showboats wide receiver DeAndre Davis had 6 catches, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. So that's all right. Panthers have been doing pretty decent as of late.
Yeah,
The only team to beat the Battlehawks, unfortunately.
yeah,
But
off a 64-yard field goal kick. So that's
yeah, bullshit.
all right.
Uh,
Pick'ems. Last week I went 3-1. Marcus went 4-0. The only difference was that Panthers Showboats game.
Big Panthers guy.
I'm currently 12-8 all time. Marcus is 13-7 all time. So for week 6, we have the first game May 4th. The Birmingham Stallions are playing the Memphis Showboats.
Give me Stallions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Stallions too. I don't think the Showboats will be pulling off the upset. Game 2 on May 4th is the Houston Roughnecks traveling to St. Louis to play the Battlehawks.
Give me the Battlehawks. I'm never gonna go against them, baby. Freaking ka.
I too will be taking the Battlehawks. First game on Sunday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. The Arlington Renegades play the Michigan Panthers.
Give me the Panthers, baby. The Renegades are terrible. Luis Perez, not it.
Yep, I would have to agree. I'm going to take the Panthers. They're going to run all over the Renegades, for one, because that's what that team does. Mm-hmm. And then the second game on Cinco de Mayo is the San Antonio Brahmas versus the DC Defenders.
Give me the Brahmas. They, even with the quarterback gone, dude, like I'm riding high with them. You taking the Defenders or are you taking the Brahmas?
No, I'm taking the Brahmas too.
Gosh.
Yeah. I'm taking the Brahmas. Yeah, I think they're good. I think the Defenders will bounce back a little bit, but Jordan Ta'amu all up in here, not looking too hot. It's because he's not wearing blue as a backup quarterback. Just terrible. But
yeah,
we're
kind of cheating though with AJ McCarron because he is like out of all these guys, he is literally an NFL caliber quarterback. Like,
yeah,
but
no,
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, but it's not like he's the only
best.
one winning games. I mean, our defense has been playing phenomenal, so it's not like
no, our defense has been good, and like we legitimately have 3 wide receiver ones, maybe 4 possibly.
Yeah,
so like
the fact that Hakeem Butler still is not like on a wide receiver 4 or 5 on an NFL team, just there. Still, it's crazy to me. I don't get it. I just don't.
You know what I want for the UFL? I want so badly next year for Carson Wentz to play for a team. Like, wouldn't that be awesome though? Like, pay the man like a couple $100,000 and just let him play. Like, if he would, he might not, but
he would look like we think AJ McCarron looks good.
Oh, he'd be better.
Dude.
He's like a second string. AJ McCarron's like a third or fourth string quarterback. So
Carson Wentz would be putting up like we'd be seeing pre-injury Carson Wentz. He'd be like dodging tackles and like
yeah, he would.
And then just throwing for 5,000 yards in 8 games or some shit. Just some ridiculous.
It'd be
shit.
cool to watch.
Yeah, but no, good episode. We'll hope for this bad betting. I guess the games will be on later tonight. because this releases on Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Moving forward, we're gonna start doing some more. We're gonna start doing fantasy dynasty stuff. For like your 3-round rookie drafts, we're gonna start a dynasty, so we'll be getting into some like dynasty mocks, those type of things. If you're looking at doing that, just because this is kind of the time frame you start either getting into
Yeah,
it or
it's gonna
start
be more UFL. June's hard too.
yeah
May, June, like it's hard.
yeah.
There's not a lot of
We'll be
content
covering
out
the
there to talk
UFL. I mean, that's going to be our biggest football content. Clearly, we'll update on any news stuff, and then, yeah, come June, we're going to be making a commercial. So,
about. And we're gonna be doing our dynasty draft.
yeah, and we'll have our own dynasty draft. So, yeah, just bear with us. It's a downtime. We thought about just taking it off and not doing anything, but we're still going to at least have some episodes every now and then, and we want to give you guys content. We want you guys to stay with us. I know. Well, I hope you guys appreciate this and enjoy listening to this and dealing with us and all that. So,
But come July, this is gonna be Marcus Mary's time, man.
Yeah.
It's prime fantasy football time.
yeah,
So
yeah, fantasy football coming up. It's our big strong suits, so we will be ready for that. But go like us on the X. Go like us on YouTube. Go like and subscribe on YouTube. Go follow us on Insta, Facebook, Spotify. Type in our name. You type in the podcast.
Amazon Music,
You're bound to find us. You're bound to find us somewhere. But all right.
like and subscribe.